Registered Phenomena Code 719. Object Class Gamma Yellow. Hazard Types: Grouped, Sentient, Animated. Containment Protocols. Due to the nature of RPC-719, it is impossible to contain any instance by orthodox means. As of August 23, 2019, Antarctic Region 17, AR-17, is to be regarded as a containment for RPC-719. See Addendum 719-1 for a list of containment efforts. Attempt 1. A CSD bunkhouse was created and then partially destroyed. When an instance appeared, a specially constructed lead containment box was lowered over it. The instance tore through the box immediately, finished repairs of the bunkhouse, and then proceeded to bend the lead box back into shape, reconnecting the tears with frost. Attempt 4. A titanium containment box was created. The dummy CSD bunkhouse was damaged once again. When an RPC-719 instance appeared, the box was lowered, and the instance was captured. After 10 minutes of no apparent change, the containment attempt was deemed a success. The box was recovered and brought to Research Point 26, 50 km away from the capture point. When opened, it was revealed empty. After investigation, it was discovered that a number of screws in the box were replaced by ones made of ice. It is believed that the instance shattered the originals and then simply crawled through the resulting holes. Attempt 8. An improved containment box was made, and the CSD bunkhouse damaged again. This time, a larger group of RPC-719 instances showed up, and instead of repairing the bunkhouse, they simply tore it down and left. Fuck it, I quit. At this point, RPC-719 is more of a financial threat to the Authority than it is an actual one. They probably thought we wanted the bunkhouse gone after so many tries, and did us a favor. I fucking hate this place. Senior Researcher Snow. Description: RPC-719 is the collective term for a group of sentient snow constructs inhabiting AR-17. Each instance is indistinguishable from one another, it being of a bipedal humanoid with elongated arms and legs, lacking any digits, a long neck-like stump, with a face visually similar to a human skull at the end of it, with each instance's height ranging from 6.5 to 8 meters. RPC-719 act as builders and renovators of structures inside the AR-17 area. Every time a construct is damaged inside of the region, a group of RPC-719, the size of the group being relative to the damages, will appear nearby. Instances will ignore any other being nearby, instead concentrating on repairs. Once they are finished, they will dissipate into the surrounding snow. No method of communication can be seen between instances. It is presumed they communicate either non-verbally or share a hive mind-like sentience. Researchers also believe RPC-719 is able to read thoughts of humans at a subconscious level, due to another behavior. At times, instances will leave the interior of AR-17 and approach research points, guard towers, or any other similar outpost and begin construction of various facilities. A list of these can be found in Addendum 719-2, with different purposes, mostly recreational. The facilities will primarily be made from ice and snow, but a small number of anomalous objects were used in the creation of some. If a facility is not used in the way it was intended for, it will be torn down by RPC-719, and any anomalous object will be recovered. Attempts at containing the objects by separating them from its facility, resulting in only a faster mobilization of RPC-719. Any place where an anomalous object was held was torn down by an instance, but also later repaired by it after recovery. No anomalous effects have been observed in the subjects using these facilities, but due to Authority rules, staff is forbidden from using them. The only exception to this rule is for facilities using anomalous objects in its construction, so the objects may be contained. The facilities are to be used by a group of CSD once weekly, as to not be torn down by RPC-719, although researchers may volunteer instead. Addendum 719-2 Facility 719-1 Additional Bunkhouse. A number of researchers have been heard discussing the discomfort of having to live in small bunkhouses. The resulting facility had more space than a standard one, with simple beds and small ice pillars next to each, with a globe that would start emanating light after being touched. Torn down after a week and 5 days after a number of globes were taken out of their spots for research. Facility 719-7 Small house for a visiting senior researcher. About a day before Senior Researcher Snow came to Outpost 6, a number of instances appeared at the outpost and began construction. The result was a small one-story house, with no visible entrance. After the arrival of Researcher Snow, he was informed of the facility and decided to investigate it himself. When approaching the house, a door-like hole opened in the wall, creating an entrance. After Snow entered, the portal closed. This caused a panic, and an attempt to destroy a part of the house was being mobilized when Snow came out. He explained the house seemed to have been made to comfortably host anyone who entered it. It included a living room, bedroom, bathroom with hot water, created through unknown means, and even a room which resembled a laboratory. The facility was torn down after an hour of Senior Researcher Snow's departure. Facility 719-48 Garage-like facility, purpose unknown. It was encountered in the first level of AR-17, in the process of being torn down by an instance of RPC-719. No distinguishable features were seen, except for a structure on the roof resembling an ice cream cone. Facility 719-54 Mess hall with interior Aurora Borealis light system. Created in Research Point 12, one of the larger points created by the Authority. It featured a much larger space than the regular mess hall, and a transparent roof which constantly showed the night sky filled with Aurora Borealis, regardless of the actual sky. Kept due to it raising staff morale. Facility 719-63 Collection of underground hot pods. A group of RPC-719 instances started digging a hole inside Research Point 34, and after 2 hours, steam started to pour out of it. When investigated, it was revealed that a collection of hot pots were created using a number of cylindrical cases made out of unknown material, which were able to fill themselves with hot water and empty themselves through unknown means. Approved for continued use, after Point 34 researchers refused to abandon more anomalous items. Facility 719-78 Military Reinforcements. After an attack by a splinter group of GOI- a group of RPC-719 appeared and started repairing the damages done in the attack. The instances installed an additional number of defenses, consisting of spiked pitfalls, walls reinforced with frost, and 3 more watchtowers in strategically important positions. What should be noted is that after most of the instances left, after the repairs and reinforcements were finished, a single instance stayed inside the military point. Snowcone, the designated codename given by the Authority agents, still haven't left the facility to this day, instead spending its time keeping the traps and constructs in good shape. Any changes in its behavior are immediately to be reported. Discovery: in an expedition led by MST Papa 1, Berserkers, of a lower-level AR-17, the MST was assaulted by an unknown group of hostiles. In the retreat to the first level, MST leader Rathound used an explosive to collapse the tunnel as to eliminate the threat. The explosion caused significant damage to the structural integrity of the area in which the surviving members of Papa 1 were in, which would have led to a cave-in and a total loss of operatives if not for the appearance of an RPC-719 group. Around 20 instances appeared around Papa 1, ignoring their gunfire directed at them, and proceeded to hold the walls and roof of the cavern. While most of them were repairing the cavern, 2 instances surrounded themselves around the MST and created a bunker-like shelter, as to protect the operatives from any fallen debris. After the reparations, RPC-719 tore down the bunker and retreated. After this event, they started to be seen more often on the lower levels of AR-17.